What's going on? Welcome back to another week of Innovation by the Cup. We're serving up innovation one cup at a time. This week, we're going to talk about the larger innovation network through the Air Force and the DOD. There's a lot more out there that we haven't talked about, but there's a lot of agencies that can benefit you. So we're going to cover a few of them today, get you a map with some networking going on out there. Then you can reach out to them and find out what they do and go from there. So Kat, he's going to talk about some of the Air Force stuff, and Chris is going to talk some of the bigger DOD stuff. So Kat, what you got?
What up? So they say timing is everything. I'm out here in sunny, beautiful Dayton, Ohio, representing some innovation things. There's a larger ecosystem for stuff that goes out there, and people don't genuinely know it exists. But we spend a lot of money and a lot of resources and hire some amazing talent to get your innovation done, or really bring your ability from knowledgeable to actionable. So when you have your spark cells on your wing, sometimes those wings will be touched by or interacted with by a MAGCOM. But that's not the only chain to get to yes, not the only way you can do it. So out here in Dayton, we have the Air Force Research Labs. We have the Air Force Gaming Research Labs, which is really cool. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a directorate where they take gaming abilities and hardware, and they find out how we can make training better. So when you see like small sims and instead of the large legacy sims, there's some of the people that actually do the back end check work of like how this would operate in your system and what makes it safe and what makes it not. Another area out here is the Air Force Rapid Sustainment Office. Their whole access and their whole point, they have this amazing facility called Hangar One. They try and figure your idea and they try and scale it and make it sustainable, right? The sustainment office, it's kind of the name. So they're really neat, and they bring your projects forth, and you can go contact them. We also have other little PEO offices out here that directly affect different career fields and different MAGCOMs, where they do the same thing, but always slightly different. So it's towards your mission set. Some of those are the Innovation Simulation Office, which takes care of simulation. Another one is your weapon or soft field, where they kind of look at more material, body armor. If you've heard of female body armor, just came out. That's an office out here that actually curtailed it to the special operations field to build that material directly for their mission. But these all exist. The neat thing about it is it goes out from us, and you pull the scope out just a little bit more, and the DOD has these. Chris is going to go over some of those cool topics, and then even after that, we have civilian partners known as accelerators or labs that continue to do that as you scope out from the DOD and you do more. Chris, what do you know about this death system out there?
Right, so I'm just going to share this screen. It's basically a mind map of all the different sort of innovation areas within the DOD or attached to the DOD. So you see the DOD in the center. If you go down to the right in the red, you'll see the Navy. I don't know why they picked red for the Navy. It should have been red for the Marine Corps, but whatever. Then over to the left, there's orange for the Marine Corps. And then you go up above that, you'll get some Office of Science and Technology under the Secretary of Defense Office. And then you go up to the yellow, that's Army. And then blue is the Air Force, which Cap just kind of touched base with. So this is an ever expanding mind map of all the different types of organizations within the DOD itself. I'm going to share you, if I can. Yeah, so, okay, stop share. Sorry, technology is always good.
It's all good. We're going to make it accessible for the people, right?
Exactly. So we'll have a link for this ready to go. And then this is kind of a pared down version of that, but it also kind of shows what you can actually, what else you can see. So if you look down at the bottom, you'll see General Services Administration, and they've got an innovation link to the DOD as well. You'll see off in blue here, the US Coast Guard has a link to DOD. DARPA obviously has one. Then you have Defense Works and all the different types of DOD type of innovations that you can that you'll be able to see. Sorry, I can't get my words out right today. But then one of the cool things is the Executive Office of the President that you see right above GSA. So there are, the White House is actually looking at innovation too from a huge perspective. Can you actually call the White House and say, hey, I've got an issue with my innovation stuff. Can you help out? I think probably not direct, but there are ways to reach those guys. So you can do that. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And some of the interesting aspects of DoD that have direct effect on what we do in the innovation sphere in the Spark Cell, we have the capability to reach out to our other military services, like the Naval Sea Systems Command in Carter Rock. They actually lead the Navy and the Marine Corps on additive manufacturing. So what they've done is they've said, okay, well, how can we improve the mission sets for the Marine Corps and the Navy? And what they've done with the Marine Corps specifically is they've said, okay, here's a whole bunch of metal 3D printers, composite 3D printers where you can print stainless steel, you can print, hardened steel, you can print carbon fiber, ceramics. And they've actually, in the Marine Corps, has actually used these systems to reduce the manpower by 75%. So if you go out to someplace in Japan, they are actually printing vehicle parts. So they've got them all 3D scanned. So they say, okay, we need to replace this part. So rather than waiting the 6 to 8 weeks for the logistics supply chain to meet the requirement, they just go and print it in 24 hours or so. And because of that, they've actually said, okay, we only need one person to do it. We don't need 4 anymore. So now they've taken those other 3 people and put them somewhere else. The Navy, with Carter Rock's help, they've said, okay, we need to do 3D printing on ships. Well, ships don't, sit like the space that you see behind me. They're rocking and rolling in the sea. So they figured out, hey, how do we make these 3D printers actually print at sea when their ships are rocking and rolling all over the place? So they've actually built gimbals and tested them, and now they have 3D printers on board ships. So that kind of gives you an idea and different perspective of what's happening around the DoD ecosystem that we might be able to plug into to help our our projects or our innovation efforts.
There's a lot of resources out there. One of the agencies that I've worked with before is Ensign, National Security Innovation Network. They have a lot of resources available, and they reach into the academic world and partner with universities, usually in your local area. They have regional directors and things like that help lash you up with some programs. They have a design thinking program that can help you at your base get through some problems. They have a program called X-Force, where they have some students over the summer design a solution set for you. They have Hacking for Defense, which is a semester-long program that they have to solve a more generic problem. But there's a lot of opportunities through Ensign. We'll link to them in the chat here. But that's just one company that I know I've had some good relationships with, and they were formerly MD5. They're a DOD agency. And so they're just looking for problem sets, and they'll try to, you submit a package and stuff. And if it gets selected up, it's one of those where you can probably have some solution sets built out for you. So that's just one company or one agency that I've worked with. But Cap, have you worked with them or another agency?
Yeah, I even want to jump in on the fact that you have that academic aspect of it. So when you tie into these, you said it yourself, DoD entities or end users like us don't ever feel as though it's a very hard bias to not give you a solution. There are these amazing agencies, and they pull into the talent pool. I briefly mentioned accelerators. So you go from academia to also accelerators, where the Air Force or the DoD, different pieces, pay to be a part of these conglomerates or these areas like Capital Factory in Austin, our new lab in New York City, or the Tech Grove down in Orlando, Florida. We pay to be a part of this. So as we come up and we have these problems and we build what our end state is, and we really define what our problem and like the different aspects and the areas we need to hit to make our end state most ideal, these organizations can help you build that solution. You would never really know that these things were capable or they're out there, but it's okay to not know. And that's why they're there. And we want you to try and plug into those to help. This is a culture of we, and we're trying to drive and move the ticker ourselves. And it doesn't have to be all done on your own. Like, there's all of us out here to help this out. And I think that's the message today, right?
Yeah, so, absolutely. I mean, there is a huge network, and we talk about it every week. And the only way we actually get to a solution set is if we all partner together and work together.
Yep, and I'll second that, because there are ways to take a look at different innovation projects and problems, and define solutions by using the jointness capability within the military. So if you're struggling with a Spark Cell project or whatever, and you're not getting any help, or you just say, wow, what's going on? Reach out to the Army, reach out to the Marine Corps, reach out to the Navy, or even the Coast Guard, to see what they've got going on. And I know that there's some work going on within DoD to start to capture all these, projects, so we're not reinventing the wheel everywhere. So we can actually, leverage what others have done in the past, or what others are doing now. And like Kat mentioned, if you bring in the academic and you bring in the small business and industry, that can only help us create those solution sets. So major DoD innovation ecosystem to tap into for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. And we don't know what we don't know. So
Yeah.
having a lot of different perspectives gets us to a new solution that we may not be tracking.
Right.
So a moral of this week is there is a huge DOD innovation network out there. There's a huge Air Force innovation network out there outside of just Spark. And there's a lot of opportunities to partner with them. So check the links out below, reach out to the Spark network, and there's always someone who's got a connection somewhere who can help you find a solution to get after your problems, and they're all more than willing to help. So we'll catch you next week. Until then, start innovating one cup at a time.